up, everyone? We have a great show for you today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell. That way you'll be notified when we got our videos up and ready. How you guys doing over on Murder Psycho Madhouse Radio? Today we have the Pagans in the news. We're going to be talking about their court case involving members who got into it with the Sutars Soldiers. Also, Indian just came out with a big recall on a ton of their motorcycles and a ton of their models. So we're going to be talking about that today. So let's get into Okay, we got from the observerreporter.com. This story is by Barbara Miller. Judge denies defense motions to eliminate attempted homicide charges against two pagans. And the Pagans, let's see here. We got Matthew Vasquez on the left, Brian Kershkin, and Paul A. Cochran in this picture right now. If you're over on Motorcycle Madhouse Radio, go over to the YouTube channel. You'll see this. A winter wind whistled past Washington County Courthouse Tuesday morning, but nothing could distract from the riveting testimony when an admitted member of the Pagan Motorcycle Club said he led fellow members on bikes from Star Junction. Wow, he admitted that. Quote, teach him a lesson. Now, asked what he meant by teach him a lesson, Paul Anthony Cochran, 54, in a gravely voice replied, quote, beat him up. The trip to the Slavic Club was prompted by someone at Fayette City area pagan gathering who received a phone call relaying Harris was present the night of April 18 at the private establishment where Vice President Zachary Yanich, 27, met the motorcyclists in the parking lot so they could gain entrance. Now, this has to do with the Sutars Soldiers. Hopefully I said that right. I always get that name messed up. And the Pagans. The Soldiers is led by former national president Rooster Katona, who was ratted out by a few members of the Pagans, and since then has been fighting in court for his release. He won on appeal, but he went on to start this club. As Cochran was testifying under direct questioning by Deputy District Attorney Jason Walsh, there was a brief outburst from Joseph Alinsky, 46, of McKeesport, one of the accused. Knock it off. A sheriff deputy, one of several in the courtroom, interjected, and John DeSale, the judge, cautioned the defendants they should speak only to their legal counsel. Well, it don't seem like they were happy with this. He was knocked to the floor, beaten, and stomped so severely he had to be taken by helicopter for treatment at Pittsburgh Hospital for serious head and internal injuries. It did not say what the outburst was, but that is quite interesting right there. Attorneys for Olinsky and Matthew Vasquez had asked that the attempted homicide counts against their clients be dismissed prior to jury selection, claiming there was no intent to kill Harris, a resident of Fallowwood, that night. Quote, this assault that took place had nothing more than an assault. Well, the guy almost died. What do you think's going to happen? Tutoria also attempted to undermine the identification of Vasquez's former fiance, Jamie Granado, provided to the detectives about the attackers. It goes on to say Alinsky by the road name, which according to testimony was Cuffs. Detectives Michael Carso and Yorich of Washington County District Attorney Office testified they did not plant or suggest Alinsky's name to her. Well, you know, it's been done before. Anyway, Walsh countered, where did all these people come from? We had people from all over northwestern Pennsylvania, congregating at the Little Slavic Club, not to have a beer, but to pummel Harris. Attempted homicide charges against Alinsky and Vasquez remain, however, according to the sales ruling at the conclusion of a 2.5-hour hearing as 2019 wound down. Harris had been a member of the Pagans 4 years ago, Cochran said, but at some point he joined another group known as Sutars Soldiers. 5 others had pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and conspiracy, to which a 6th man has pleaded no contest. Others not alleged to have been members of the motorcycle club were also charged, mostly by the regional police. So, Karen Wadsworth, Belle Vernon, Vasquez's cousin, watched the hearing from a front row in the courtroom. Quote, "I think there was a crime committed. I feel that maybe the whole story isn't being told," she said after the judge ruled from the bench. Quote, "Maybe they're being made an example of, calling the link to the motorcycle club both prejudicial and unfair. Well, I don't see how that is, and usually I'm with motorcycle club rights, but the story, both sides of it, you're looking here, the guy admitted that he led everybody over there to do the beating, and he was an ex-member of the Pagans, and there has been friction between those clubs. Vasquez, she said, is a single father working very hard to take care of his son. He's never been in trouble prior to this. He said the defendant was a steel worker at U.S. Steel Clairton plant for 8 years, but because of his incarceration, he lost his job. Against him, he lost his house, his cars, his whole entire life. You know, that's why I don't understand why, you know, I do understand why clubs don't get along, and they're probably never going to get along. But with the latest technology, people not afraid to speak up, it's just ludicrous that you want to even put yourself involved with this. And now you have an ex-steel worker out of a job. He's got out of all his possessions. Why? Because somebody switched sides. You know, it's very interesting how motorcycle clubs don't want to get over the fact that what they're doing is turning people against them, especially independent bikers. I've never seen it this bad against motorcycle clubs in a long freaking time. And what's worse, it's coming from bikers. It's not coming from citizens anymore, because a lot of people are fed up with it. They're just fed up with all this fighting. They're fed up with the territory stuff. They're fed up with a lot of stuff. So, again, this from the Observer, Reporter.com by Barbara Miller. Now we go into a recall. An Indian recalls 5,474 motorcycles due to a potential engine stalling. And there is all kinds of models affected by this, so if you ride an Indian, make sure you check this out. This was released on December 31st. Indian Motorcycle has recalled 5,474 of its 2019 FTR 1200s, Chieftain, Vintage, Roadmaster, Dark Horse, and Springfield motorcycles due to potential stalling issues. Indian says a 10-amp circuit breaker may be defective, tripping unexpectedly and causing a sudden loss of power and an engine stall. Wow. That's basically their whole 2019 lineup. Again, the Chief Dark Horse Chieftain, Chieftain Dark Horse FTR 1200, Roadmaster, Springfield Dark Horse, and the Vintage, all 2019. Indian will notify owners and provide a new 10-amp circuit breaker and installation instructions. Owners may choose to have the part installed at the dealership free of charge. The recall is expected to begin on January 2nd. Owners may contact Indian customer service at 1-877-204-3697. The Indian tracking number for this recall is I-1905. You may also contact the National Highway Traffic Administration Vehicle Safety Hotline at 1-888-327-4236. And this just seems like a new model breaking in, if you ask me. You know, everybody always has the problem with new models. That's why I'd never buy a new one unless it's 4 or 5 years old. That way, you know, you get over all the gremlins, if you will. So, Indian recalling a lot of its 2019 lineup. And there you have it for the news. You know, I said 2020 is going to be a lot more exciting here at Insane Throttle. As you notice, we're doing a lot of independent biker-related stuff, a lot of freaking motorcycle tech, and we're going to be doing a lot of rallies this year, and we're going to be working on the YouTube channel a lot more. We kind of neglected it because our main platform's been Motorcycle Madhouse Radio. The YouTube channel, you would see the actual recording of that show, so we're going to be doing a lot more, spicing up the biker news, spicing up other subjects. That's why you've seen the videos happening during the news segment. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Don't forget, because YouTube throttled us down, let's put it that way, where they don't really recommend the videos. They don't really show you what we got going on. So make sure to hit that bell, but make sure to share the videos. Help us get the channel going. We're going to start paying a lot more attention to it, and we appreciate all the support we got in 2019. But with that, you guys stay safe and look forward to what's coming out on Insane Throttle.